What is going on, everyone? It's Super here, and welcome to another Injustice 2 video. As always, if you guys have your own questions about Injustice 2, make sure you guys leave it in the comment section. I have answered a ton of questions. I have gained new subscribers and stuff, so if you guys have your own question, make sure you guys answer it or write it in the comment section. Of course, I have to answer it. And I'm going to try to do these not so often because we are getting closer to Injustice 2. So I have done a bunch of Q&A videos that have answered a lot of questions that I've gotten over the past 2 months. But of course, there's always new questions. I still even have a big, list of backlogged questions to answer. So definitely expect more in the future. But if you guys do enjoy these videos, make sure you guys please leave a like rating. It really helps out. Channel's been growing very well the last month, and it's all thanks to you guys showing that extra support, leaving likes on videos and stuff like that. So let's get started here with the first question, and it comes from Felix, and he asks, are you going to stream the release of Injustice 2? Now this is very important because I 100% want to stream on release day of Injustice 2. I just don't know what I want to stream. You know what I mean? Because it's a new game, so you could do anything. I could play, I'll talk about this later on, S.T.A.R Labs missions. I could play the story mode. I could just go into training mode and explore all the characters. I could play ranked matches not knowing anything and probably get my ass kicked. I could do anything. So if you guys want to see something specific on release day for Injustice 2, write it in the comment section. I don't know where I'm going to stream it because I've said it before, I really want to build up my Twitch channel to get a subscriber button, not to get money. It's just because I want emotes. I really do. That's the best thing about streaming on Twitch. Like, the chat is so much better than the chat on YouTube. There's emotes, it feels more interactive. You know what I mean? Because the chat is just so much better. So I want a subscriber button just so I could get some emotes, maybe put a cookie emote on there, a princess emote, so I have a few ideas for emotes. So over the next couple months, I want to stream a little bit more on Twitch because you guys know for the majority of 2016, I streamed on YouTube. I started, I think, maybe around April or March, I started streaming on YouTube Gaming. And it does help out the channel a lot because the views that the views that accumulate throughout the stream, it doesn't matter how many viewers are watching at a certain time, like just people coming into the stream, maybe they check it out for about 10 minutes, 20 minutes, then they go off to watch something else. That view actually counts towards like the total upload views for the video, and then of course the video archives, and then people watch it when it hits their sub boxes. So it really helps out streaming on YouTube. That's why I haven't been wanting to move to Twitch too much, but YouTube has been having problems lately, and I really want to get a subscriber button on Twitch just to get emotes, pretty much. That's really what I want, and it feels the chat feels more interactive on Twitch and stuff. So if you guys don't follow my Twitch channel, it's going to be linked in the description. But let me know what you guys want to see on release day of Injustice 2. What I'm thinking of is maybe learn 1 or 2 characters and then play some ranked matches, like day one ranked matches. And then we'll see where we go from there, because I know a lot of people are going to want to see me fight in ranked matches. And of course, I want to learn characters. Like, training mode is one of my favorite things to do in any fighting game. So I have a lot of fun doing that. So I'll stream that and then some ranked, and maybe devote one entire stream to like passing the story mode a few days after Injustice 2's release. So I think that's what I'll do. But yeah, I definitely want to stream Injustice 2 on release day, 100%. Acosta asks, do you think Injustice 2 is going to have or is going to be better than Mortal Kombat X? I can't really say because Injustice 2 isn't out yet. But they are 2 different games. Mortal Kombat X is incredibly fast-paced because you have the run button, you have the characters very close to each other, you don't have too much of the screen to work with, so it's always like you're always in your opponent's face. You're always like one step away from your opponent's face. It's rare where you get 2 characters that want to be just full screen. Maybe if you have like Predator, Katana fighting each other, stuff like that. But Injustice is a completely different animal. Injustice, you have the characters zoomed out a little bit more. You have giant stages to work with, so you're maybe like 3 to 4 forward dashes away from your opponent. So there's a lot. Well, I don't know if this applies to every single character, but it feels like to me there's a lot less 50-50, so it's harder to open people up. You have different mechanics, like you have to hold back to block in Injustice 2. There's no block button, so that changes the game completely already, because cross-ups, ambiguous cross-ups, crossovers, all that matters in a game like Injustice compared to Mortal Kombat X. So the games are very different, so I can't really tell you if one is going to be better than the other, because in my opinion they're not really comparable. That's why I can't compare Mortal Kombat to Street Fighter, because I have fun playing Street Fighter 5 at some points, and sometimes I feel like MKX has a lot of bullshit in it, but I also enjoy it. Same thing with Street Fighter. I can't really compare the two games and say one is better than the other. I prefer one over the other. I could definitely say that once Injustice 2 comes out. If I prefer MKX, I'll definitely say I prefer MKX. But, who knows? Maybe Injustice 2 ends up being incredibly balanced, and let's just throw a number out there, 28 characters on release day are very fun to play. They have unique play styles. That leads to a very fun and very good fighting game. If the game is balanced, there aren't characters that just completely dominate every single matchup. So we're gonna have to wait and see. Moving on here to the next question comes from Don Trell, and he asks, would they ever bring back S.T.A.R Labs missions for Injustice 2? Yeah, so this is the question I want to answer, because I did mention S.T.A.R Labs at the beginning of this video. There is zero chance that S.T.A.R Labs will not make it into Injustice 2. As a matter of fact, I think they're going to even make more missions on release day, because there's 300 missions for the S.T.A.R Labs in Injustice, but the second half, maybe the second 150, no, I think that's a little bit too much. Maybe the last 1/3 of those missions are actually DLC character missions. So I think on release day they might start off with 300, and then once DLC is released, they'll probably end up going to like 500, which would be awesome, because as much as I enjoyed myself, I kind of felt like the S.T.A.R Labs ended very quickly. I did pass every single S.T.A.R Lab mission. I had never played any of the S.T.A.R Labs missions before. I went through number 1 through 300. Of course, I didn't 3-star all of them, because, come on, I tried a 3-star 1 through 10, and that took like 50 minutes, so there's no way I'm going to even attempt that. But I had a lot of fun. I think with the graphics and the new engine, they could take the S.T.A.R Labs missions to a whole new level and make it even more interactive and fun with Injustice 2. Just imagine how awesome some of these missions are going to be, and they could get very creative with things, and it's going to be great, man. I cannot wait to see what they bring for the S.T.A.R Labs missions in Injustice 2. It's going to be awesome. Moving on here, Emmanuel asks, what do you think, or do you think Static Shock will make it into Injustice 2, since he was in the mobile version of Injustice? And at first, a couple months ago, I was pretty sure that Static Shock would probably make it into Injustice 2, but as time goes on, to be honest, I'm holding back a little bit. I'm holding back the excitement. I'm holding back the expectations, because to me it seems like the more time passes, the less chance he has of making it. But we'll see, man. I would really like to see him in the game, and I think a lot of fans would. Fans were pretty pissed off that he was in the mobile version of the first Injustice game and not in the actual Injustice game. So we'll see if they're going to make that mistake again of not adding him, because I think he's a fan favorite. It's been confirmed that Ed Boon pays attention a lot on Twitter. So hopefully the fan outcry when he was in the mobile version of the first Injustice, not in the actual game, the fan outcry might have gotten his attention. We will see. Mackenzie asks, do you think Buffy will be a guest character in Injustice 2 along with the other characters in the Ed Boon's poll? Because it seems like when Ed Boon puts these characters in a poll, they have a very, very good chance of making it. And Mackenzie, that is a very good question, and I do have to agree with you half on, pretty much half of what you're saying, because I do think that Ed Boon's polls represent characters, or at least some characters that are going to be in the game. Usually it's 2. That's why I say like 50-50. I don't remember which one it was, but I remember when Ed Boon put out a poll, Captain Cold was in it and Blue Beetle was in it. And those 2 characters are going to be in the game. The same thing with Starfire, and I forgot there was another character that was in one of Ed Boon's polls along with Starfire that was teased at in one, I think it was Dr. Fate, that was teased at in one of the merchandise, or what, I think it was a t-shirt or one of the trailers. So there's always some character that will be making it into Injustice 2 in one of Ed Boon's polls. Usually it is the one that wins the poll. And of course Buffy was in the same poll as Spawn. Who else was it? Spawn. Was it Sub-Zero? I don't remember the other characters, but Buffy was in one of Ed Boon's polls as far as guest characters. And, it was Spawn, Hellboy, Buffy, and Terminator. So those were the 4 characters that were put into that poll. I do think that out of those 4, the 2 that have the most likelihood of making it are Spawn and Hellboy. But Buffy would be awesome to play as well. So moving on here, this is probably going to be the final question. Let's see. All right, so Ghostly asked, do you think that Darkseid, if Darkseid is in this game, do you think his trait will be his Omega Beams? And I actually would think that Darkseid would have the Omega Beams as just a default move, but that is a very likely possibility, because if you guys are seeing from the gameplay in front of your screen, Supergirl actually has her heat vision as her trait. So if it's full, she has access to 4 different heat visions before they fully recover, and she could shoot them diagonally, she could shoot them straight, she could shoot them in the air, diagonally down. And if she holds the trait button, she actually shoots out one beam that just pushes your opponent back while she's walking forward. So if Darkseid is in the game, there is a very, very, very good chance that his Omega Beams might actually be his trait. Because what else could be his trait? What else could he have? Could he maybe have his Omega Beams just as a default move that he has, and then maybe he has a power-up or something like that as his trait, something like what Superman has? I don't know. I think that would be a little bit too generic. So his Omega Beams would definitely make a lot of sense for them to be his trait. And, we'll see what they do with it. Like I mentioned, those guys over at NetherRealm are very creative with a lot of things. Some things are a little bit lazy, like the Superman power-up and stuff, but a lot of things from Injustice 2 look like they put a lot of time into thinking about what to do with a specific character. So that's going to be the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. What's going on, guys? It's Super here. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you guys subscribe or check out any of these videos linked at the top. Thank you, and I'll see you guys next time.